Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural Sun Drop Cup Series event, the Sun Drop 500 at the Daytona International Speedway. Speed Weeks comes to a close with the biggest race of the season and the biggest race in the NSDCA. The Cup Series finally comes to Daytona to show off these cars in a real 60-lap event here at Daytona. Ryan Butcher, fastest on pole day, puts his SBR equipment on the pole, and Matthew Eaves, a very strong superspeedway driver and the owner of that SBR equipment, he starts alongside him. In row 2 are the two winners of the duels, though. Stephen Wallace Jr. starting third after making a late race pass on Christian Vargas into the final corner, went on, took the lead, and in a drag race to the line, went on and won the duel. Jay Jefferson fought his way up at the end, ended up winning his duel by passing DJ Curtis on the last lap as well. So this race could come down to the last lap. If it's anything like the duels, it's sure to be exciting. 42 drivers in the field. 2 cars went home. That was Eli Bright and Scott Roush, the only 2 DNQs in the top 2 series of Daytona this weekend. But you have a lot of drivers in this field looking for their first win. Almost half of the field is looking for their first win, including guys like Christian Vargas in that 08 car, who almost went on to win duel number 1 here on Thursday. It was a great run for Vargas in that race, dominated late. He's trying to go to victory lane there in that number 08 for Sauber Racing Team. Dwayne Rockefeller in the 51 as well for Johnson Performance, looking to get his first career win and first career win for the team in their first Cup start in that number 51. Alex Fletcher in the 72, he won the Valvoline 200 last season here at Daytona, now looking to get Smart Motorsports into victory lane. Looking further down the field, Patrick Smith in the 61 trying to get a good run for this season. He is driving for Hagen Enterprises for, I believe, just the Sun Drop 500, but he is full-time for CFRO Racing and could run some truck races for that team in the number 94. Looking further back, John Dilks was able to race his way in. Robert Gearhart Racing, a team with no owner's points, no qualifying time due to an engine failure in qualifying. The 36 team raced their way into the 8th position in their duel. They'll start inside the top 20 in that 36 car. John Dilks looking to put himself into victory lane for RGR. And Noah Kim in the HBP car in the back here. A crazy amount of sponsors on there. Nothing looks right on it, but that is just HBP's way. They start in the top 20 for the biggest race of the season. Diego Yepes in the 77 coming back to a competitive team. Teammate Brandon Morris right there as well. Looking through, Cody Goforth blew an engine yesterday, or blew a clutch yesterday in the Crown Royal 300. Heartbreak for that team. The Samsung number 27 is out here. He's trying his best to go ahead and take a victory, but he just wants to finish this race first. It's been a rough speed weeks for North Border Motorsports and Cody Goforth. The rest of the field going on through all these nice brand new paint schemes out here. A couple guys who struggled in the duels were Jacob Edson, Carter Friesen, Austin Murray. You saw right there. Edson coming to SBR on a return to the NSDCA. He said when he retired 2 years ago, he would come back if Cup made a return to stock car racing. And here we are in these brand new Cup cars. Jacob Edson starting pretty far back in that 82 car, hoping he can fight his way through the field, starting from 40th. Jacob Rose and Joseph Srigley were the last 2 in. Everyone who had owner's points was in. The 2 drivers who did not have owner's points were out. And that also happened in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. We'll have to see what that'll mean for next season's Speed Weeks. But we are just about ready to get the commands to fire the engines. The Sun Drop 500, the biggest event of the season, is about to kick off here at Daytona.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sun Drop Cup Series races this season. In the inaugural Sun Drop 500, it is Shade Burkhart Racing's Ryan Butcher in the number 83 putting himself to the top of the charts on pole day qualifying. The 83 team is fast. Shade Burkhart Racing, I believe, has started on the front row for the past 3 Crown Royal 300s and now the Sun Drop 500. We are ready to see if SBR can finally take home the elusive Daytona crown here today at the Sun Drop 500. With that, the engines are fired. 42 drivers rolling off for 60 laps here in the Sun Drop 500. Ryan Butcher, Matthew Eaves on the front row. 2 drivers going home. That's Eli Bright for the TSR R&D number 8 and the number 29 Ditech Motorsports number of Scott Roush. So Ryan Butcher and Matthew Eves trying to lead themselves down, trying to get themselves a victory in the Crown Royal 300. We saw Matthew Brown go to victory lane. Ryan Butcher's team for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports go to victory lane in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We'll see what'll happen here in the Sundrop Cup Series as they pace on around the field, getting ready to form up and getting ready to go racing here at Daytona. It's going to be entertaining to see. We got a lot of underdogs starting up front. Stephen Wallace Jr. might not be entirely an underdog for GDI, but he is not one of the top guys that you usually see up front. He could get up there and win like he won his duel. Christian Vargas, Dwayne Rockefeller, even Colton Lane in the 05, all up here. Logan Bradley, Zachary Racing had a great performance last time at the Crown Royal 300, but they kind of messed up at the end. Did not go with Alex Peters, and they ended up finishing behind Matthew Brown. Ryan Butcher and Matthew Eves trying to lead and dominate this race, but you got a whole pack of 40 other drivers behind them. Who will win the Sundrop 500? Anyone has a shot to do it. It's just how good you can be on these restrictor plate tracks and how good the draft will be when you come on around. Coming down to take the green flag. The Cup Series season will finally be in full swing. Butcher versus Eves on row 1. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing for 60 laps here at the Daytona International Speedway. Eves gets a run on the bottom, but Jay Jefferson forms up nicely behind Matthew Eves. You got DJ Curtis back there as well, but now the 83 Butcher is going to have that inside line form back up. Inside, of course, is always the strongest line here at Daytona. That outside line can work. We'll have to see if they can this year. Ryan Butcher already gets shoved 3 wide as Stephen Wallace Jr., Christian Vargas, Dwayne Rockefeller, and Colton Lane dive to the inside line. Butcher's going to drop back through the middle. Curtis and Burkhart there as well. Fletcher trying to get down in front of Logan Bradley back there. Almost caused a wreck immediately here at Daytona as they come off of the corner. Coming around for lap number 1, Stephen Wallace Jr. is going to start this race where he ended up the duels. Him and Christian Vargas first and second across the line on lap number 1. That is lap 1 completed here at Daytona. We have 59 laps to go to see who will be crowned the Sundrop Cup Series Sundrop 500 champ. Dwayne Rockefeller into third. Colton Lane trying to push on that inside line as well. Jefferson and Burkhart have been shoved out wide as Stephen Wallace Jr. tries to hang on over Vargas. Those two were pretty fast in their duel. We'll have to see if they can keep that speed here in the 500. Already Joseph Strigley a bit further off of the back than he probably wants to be. Colton Lane in the 05 trying to make a move. Does Vargas try to dive out on Wallace Jr.? No, he won't. Again, 60 laps in this event. You have a lot of time to make moves. You have a lot of time to get to the front, so I don't think you need to push too much in these opening laps. Colton Lane on that inside line trying to fight off Matthew Eves, who's on the outside. Eves is going to clear him. Coming off the corner, Colton Lane now trying to hang on over Butcher and Jefferson and Burkhart on that outside line. As Eves wants to go, he dives to the inside of Rockefeller. Does a little crossover there. He's going to look for third as the two Dodges of the 65 and 08, Stephen Wallace Jr. and Christian Vargas, pull away out in front. Eves now clear into that third position. And looking further back into this mess, 3 wide back here. Downey in the middle, Jose Perez, Peter Onjak, they're trying to go with him. Now Perez going somewhere. Alex Fletcher is going to go for a 3 wide move further up. So this pack of guys, look at Dusty Neal back there just sitting in the middle of that whole pack in that 94, dropping to the back right now. Dwayne Rockefeller going wide up front, though. Top 3 getting single filed out. They're all Dodges. Maybe they're trying to just work together and try to pull away from the field. Vargas all over the back of Stephen Wallace Jr. Eves in third, Fletcher fourth. And look further back, the HBP 06 of Noah Kim already working his way inside the top 10 as they go around here at Daytona. Top 4 now sit single file as they head into the corner. Colton Lane trying to clear into 5th as the rest of the field battles there. Monster Motorsports teammates Colton Lane, DJ Curtis on this inside line trying to make some moves happen here as the top 4 again stay in single file for now. Larry Hagan further back moving up to that outside line. A lot of guys trying to make some moves as they head down the back straightaway here. 4 laps through. Matthew Eves going to dive for that second position on Vargas. Going to shove Vargas and Fletcher, it looks like, back a bit as Colton Lane's trying to get a run to the inside of Alex Fletcher. Will Fletcher be able to clear him? Yes, he will. He tucks down in front of him. Now Dwayne Rockefeller all over the back of that 05. You got DJ Curtis back there as well. Ryan Butcher as Vargas now gets the train to his inside. They're going to leave him out to dry till they come off the tri-oval, go up. Fletcher now, he wants to stay with the Chevys. They want to get the Dodges out of here, move up with the Chevys as they have a line of 4 of them on the inside line with the Toyota of Butcher right behind him. Fletcher leading this train. He's up into the second position, but here comes Colton Lane down to the inside with Dwayne Rockefeller, DJ Curtis, and Ryan Butcher, including Logan Bradley and Noah Kim just a bit further back. Now Rockefeller's going to leave him out to dry. Fletcher trying to hang on, not go 3 wide. He'll be able to clear lane as Stephen Wallace Jr. continues to lead in that GDI number 65. Coming off the corner, it's 2x2 up front, a bit further back, still 2x2. So these guys running a bit calmly now. They've kind of gotten orderly. They're making moves in lines. You see Kev Shearer going top to bottom back there as well. John Dilk's trying to hang on, but looks like they kind of calmed down. Now Noah Kim in the 06 is going to make it 3 wide on Logan Bradley up here. So Kim is making his way through the field pretty quickly for Harmon Benning-Peterson. Nice to see such a small team out here, especially with all the sponsors. Top 4 stay in single file, 2x2 further back. Jay Jefferson shoved to the outside line. Colton Yo gets pretty wide there. Yo had a great run in the Crown Royal 300, finishing up towards the front. Now Rockefeller and Curtis are going to leave Fletcher. They're going to go 3 wide. Colton Lane's going to jump down with teammate DJ Curtis to that inside, so there goes Alex Fletcher. He's going to drop back in that 72. Stephen Wallace Jr. continuing to just hold this race lead for now, but we'll see if anyone can make a move around him. Yesterday in the truck race, a lot of guys were able to get around guys like Jay Jefferson, Austin Murray, Alex Binyako, and keep them out from getting the race lead for long, and that was different from what the people predicted. So now Stephen Wallace Jr., will he be able to be passed by DJ Curtis, by Dwayne Rockefeller, Colton Lane even in there? So he has 3 Chevys nose to tail with him behind this single Dodge. There's no Dodges up inside this top 6 right now. They're side by side, Eves and Kim further back. Curtis is going to go, or Lane's going to go. He wants Curtis to go with him. Not going to happen. Curtis tucks in right behind him, but now Stephen Wallace Jr. has 2 Monster Motorsports drivers right on his back bumper as they come off of turn number 4. Curtis going to lay back a bit, trying to get Colton Lane to give him a bit of a push. Dwayne Rockefeller in there as well. Now Lane's going to try to look to the inside of Curtis. Not going to happen. We'll see if they can mount the charge coming through turn number 1 as he's trying to go defensive on Lane, coming down the front straightaway. Guys still back there, shuffling positions. One car is out of this one. That's Colton Yo. He might have got a piece of the wall, or there's something wrong with the 79 as he is pretty slow and has fallen off the pace. So that's heartbreaking for Evernham Racing back there. They are now going to be the first ones losing that front draft. DJ Curtis trying to get momentum. No, Colton Lane's going to jump to the inside in that 05. Dwayne Rockefeller in the 51 on the outside. 8 of 60 complete here at Daytona as they are going hard up front. Ryan Butcher and now Noah Kim in that 06 has moved his way into the top 5. Look at Diego Yepes, Sebastian Kukulon. Carson Bowers is coming up here, the defending Crown Royal Truck Series champion. Top guys are 2x2, but further back, 3 wide action between Casey Mears. Gatlin Downey's getting a piece of the wall further back in the 35. He's scraping along that outside wall, and it's just like the truck race. If you get too high through the tri-oval, that is a very thin part of the track, especially while you're trying to turn. It's much thinner than the corners, the banked corners, so it's harder to maintain that outside line, and that costs Gatlin Downey a bit, and a few guys behind him. Tim Foster back there, Brandon Morris, Joseph Strigley, Austin Murray, Dusty Neal also back there. 3 wide further up again, as now Patrick Smith is going to move Jay Jefferson up the track and try to move him out of the way. Stephen Wallace Jr. continuing to pace the field here at Daytona. 9 of 60 complete as they rush off of turn number 4. Noah Kim now in the 06. He wants to go for that second position on Colton Lane, and he's going to try to get there. The Dodges are really showing their speed like they did yesterday in the Crown Royal 300. Top 5 have now broken away as Yepes and Kukulon go side by side behind him. So the top 5 hanging themselves out in front as Stephen Wallace Jr. continues to pace the field here at Daytona. 10 of 60 complete, 1/6 of the way through this event. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, bring you guys back to the action here at the Sundrop 500 after these words from our sponsors.
Thanks for coming.
Eat a dick.
Okay. We're doing things a little bit different today. This is the new 2017 Chevy Cruze. I'm only going to show you half of this car and ask you your initial opinions about it. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it looks very sleek, a little bit of attitude to it.
That is the ugliest fucking car I have ever seen.
And it starts at $22,190.
Nice. That's a great price.
22,190 what? Half dollars? But wait, doesn't it say right here, as shown 29,860? So what, this car that we're looking at is not 22,190, it's 29,860?
There's another side to this car.
Oh, wow.
They're in love it.
My God, you guys and your doors.
This is the first ever Chevy Cruze hatch.
Wow.
Good choice on the
So check
color
it
there.
out.
What is that? Burnt rust?
What's your first impression of seeing the whole car now?
Honestly, I'm just as disappointed with the back half as I was with the front half. Maybe
Remember,
more.
this is the first ever Chevy Cruze hatchback.
I hope it's the
Let's see what
last.
we got in here. So now that you know it's a hatchback with lots of room, what does it make you think of?
Makes me think of someone that's gonna overpay for a piece of shit.
I still see like a young professional / weekend warrior. The whole like business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah, Debbie party's in the back.
Back live here at Daytona. A battle for the race lead is brewed. Noah Kim was able to get to the inside and pass Stephen Wallace Jr. heading into turn 1. Now the Monster Motorsports duo of Curtis and Lane have moved their way to the top of the charts. Noah Kim now into the outside wall in the 06 car. That's going to screw his run over, so he's going to drop now further back through the field. But Monster Motorsports able to work with Noah Kim to get to the race lead. Stephen Wallace Jr. now shoved out. He's on that outside line all alone with Diego Yepes back there, as Kim is going to be shoved all the way back in that 06 car. Up in third, Ryan Butcher. Fourth is now Sebastian Kukulon. Kukulon, one of the drivers looking for his first career NSDCA victory in the Tops division, but I believe first career in general. Outside of the JROC races, he does not have a victory in this NSDCA, so Kukulon trying his best to hang on for Rockstar Energy Racing. Now Stephen Wallace Jr. on that inside line. He's going to check up a little bit as Kukulon's going to get a run off the corner. Now Patrick Smith going to try to make a move on Wallace Jr. Yepes pulling away there. Your top four now has two Chevys, a Toyota, and a Ford as they run around. And then Diego Yepes' Toyota behind him. Colton Lane now going to leave DJ Curtis. He wants to lead this race as they go around, and that's going to be Colton Lane into the race lead. No one to help DJ Curtis, but he's side drafting that 85 and 05. Now they go up to the top, the 83 and 05 on the inside. Yepes, and now Stephen Wallace Jr. is going to go down there. Now SWJ looking for a move on Yepes to throw it 3 wide up front as Colton Lane's going to take the race lead away. Rest of the field going on through. Colton Yo still off the pace in that 79. At the back now, Bobo Jones, Joseph Sergley, Tib Foster having a struggle here at the super speedways. Jacob Rose back here, Gatlin Downey, Brandon Morris, so bit of problems back here for some of these guys. John Dilks has started up front. He's dropped to the back, but Edson and Neal and Murray have made their way up through the field. They're about mid-pack now as they're making their way towards the front here at Daytona, trying to get that SBR CFRO team up towards the front. Noah Kim's dropped to the back. He's on this outside line after scraping the wall. Took the lead a couple laps ago under commercial break. Now he's trying to fight his way back up. Is Stephen Wallace Jr. He does not want to lose that lead for long. He's back into the second spot. So he's going to look to the inside of Colton Lane, or of Ryan Butcher, following Colton Lane on through. Yepes now going to move Ryan Butcher out of the way. That's team boss Ryan Butcher for Diego this season. So now I don't know if Diego really wants to race like that, but Toyota has never really been helpful to each other here at Daytona. Last season, Brady Burkhart left Toyota partner Luke Rainey in the TRD car out to dry in the final closing laps and cost the Toyota team the win last season. Stephen Wallace Jr. is going to move his way back to the race lead as Ryan Butcher is going to push him past Colton Lane for the battle for the race lead. Kukulon, Porta back there. Matthew Eves trying to fight his way back up. Now Kukulon's going to leave Matty Porta to the inside. That's not going to go well with Porta, especially when Kukulon is his teammate this year. Kukulon driving for Sauber Racing Team in the Crown Royal Truck Series, while Porta drives this 20 in the SDCS. They're coming off. Kev Shearer now has team boss Matthew Eves behind him. Dwayne Rockefeller. Look at Larry Hagan in the 21. He had a very poor duels. Did not qualify in through racing through the duels. Had to fall back on his qualifying time, so started pretty far back. He's now inside the top 15 on that inside with Alex Fletcher. Sebastian Kukulon leading that inside line. Mikey Yamakaze and Nathan Stapleton. Some R&D cars for Butch Gator Motorsports. Anj Auto right there making their way towards the front. And as we said, Carter Friesen, Austin Murray, they're moving on up. Dusty Neal is kind of stalled out further back, but Jacob Edson's up here as well. They're making a charge towards the front after starting in the back early on in this race. Matthew Eves trying everything he can. He wants to go. Eves really wants to go and does not want to be on that outside line in that 47, working his way around drivers, trying to get to the inside of Curtis now, making that 3 wide as they come off of the corner. Stephen Wallace Jr. maintaining the race lead. Porta trying to get around Kukulon up there as Ryan Butcher and Kukulon sit second and third. Now Porta into fourth. 3 wide further back. Patrick Smith in the 61 might have got a piece of the wall. They're going to be 4 wide coming through the tri-oval there. That is sketchy as Vargas, Friesen, Murray, Smith. Can they clear Patrick Smith? Yes, they will. So nice job there, saving it from 4 wide action. We saw some 4 wide in duel number 2 between the TSR guys. So Patrick Smith, great to see him not tear that car up as he gets a move done there. Logan Bradley going a bit wild back there, just off of this second pack, or off of this lead pack, as they are now single file further back. Just a field of cars up in front of these guys as they head through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be difficult to get through here at Daytona, but let's go ahead on board on the roof cam of Zachary DeLello as he's working his way through the pack here in this 57 car, and you see everyone in front of him. You're just trying to make your move, trying to get with a line that'll be fast. Matthew Eves is going to scrape the wall. He did that in the duels, fell back pretty far. So now on board with DeLello, you're defending Crown Royal Truck Series Crown Royal 300 winner from last season. Of course, no longer the defending one. But he is out on that outside line. You see that front pack pulling away as they spread out, but it is very tough to race here. These cars are big and blocky. You can't really see over the big spoilers that they have now to put a bit more of a hole in the air. So it's hard to drive here. It's hard to pass, but the draft, if you can work with that draft, it'll pay off at the end. Sebastian Kukulon up to second, Kev Shearer third, Porta in fourth, trying to get a run on the outside line as he's going to try to get around Shearer. Shearer goes up and pulls in front of the 20. Top 4 goes single file. Alex Fletcher there as well. 20 laps in next time by, as there's some contact back there, it looked like, between DeLello and Dilks. Kukulon, though, going to make the move on Stephen Wallace Jr. for the race lead. Porta and Fletcher bringing it up here. Larry Hagan, Jose Perez, Mikey Yamakaze here as well. And here is your Clash winner, Austin Murray, fighting his way inside, just outside the top 10, trying to move his way up in the draft. Now in this number 91, started pretty far back. He ended up behind Matthew Eves in the duel after Eves hit the wall, which cost him a lot of time in the draft. So now he had to fight his way from the back of this race. Started this in the 36th position. He's up just fighting outside of the top 10 right now. Same with Larry Hagan. Hagan's had a pretty poor qualifying run. 32nd quickest because he had to race it. He had to fall back on his qualifying time, so he started outside the top 30, and now he's inside the top 3 as Porta clears himself into second. Stephen Wallace Jr. could be losing this race lead again, but we'll see if he can catch himself back up. Jose Perez for Gatlin Downey Incorporated in their R&D car that they got from the NSDCA for this event. The NSDCA wanted to make sure that we'd have a full field here for Daytona, so they gave out some free cars for these guys to actually run in the Sundrop 500 to get the full field, and that's what we have right now. Couple guys that are taking advantage of that. Jose Perez in the 69, the Eli Bright number 8 DNQ'd this race. You see that orange and pink car back there, the Sprunko 4. That's Nathan Stapleton for Anjado. So a lot of teams took advantage of that, and it's nice to see them out here racing. Harmon Benning Peterson now back to 39th. Nicky Morris, Jacob Rose behind him as well. Colton Yo also back there. So a lot of guys struggling. Joseph Strigley also taking advantage of an R&D car, even though his team is afforded some free cup cars. It's just because he's not going to run too many races this season, doesn't want to cost himself too much money in case this car DNQs or crashes. And right now, Strigley not running too hot. He's back here, pretty much has been outside of the top 30 this whole race, just struggling in that 63 car, but he's just happy to be in the field at this point. Zachary DeLello further back. Tim Foster working his way back up in that 40. He's using the middle line, so he's going to push up and try to pass Dusty Neal. Larry Hagan is taking the race lead away as Mikey Yamakaze's getting in there. Kukulon in the 12 trying to defend Jose Perez. So as you see this, Austin Murray into the wall. He might have got a piece of Christian Vargas there. John Dilks might have got a piece of the wall too. He looks pretty slow coming through the tri-oval. So hopefully that team doesn't lose the draft. That could be big for them, and it looks like he will. So John Dilks raced his way into the 500, and it looks like it's not meant to be for him. He's going to drop back. These guys are racing a lot differently than the Crown Royal trucks. We saw in the Truck Series race the field spread out. There wasn't this entire pack the whole race long. About halfway through the field, it was 3 or 4 different packs as they were racing. Well, that might have also been because there was an incident early on in the race between Luke Rainey and Cody Goforth. But we still have 40 cars under a blanket here at Daytona, and all together, Colton Yo and now the 36 of John Dilks losing the draft. But these guys are definitely racing differently. The cars aren't as strong. They aren't as fast. And now Porta, look at him, going to throw the block on Kukulon with a big run on Mikey Yamakaze there. And that's going to be for that second position as they come on through. Matty Porta up into 5th. Cody Goforth from North Border Motorsports. As Bobo Jones said over testing, he said, man, NBM has some great luck. Haven't torn up equipment, haven't cost equipment, and they were having some pretty decent runs in testing. We come to Speed Weeks, they've now blown up 2 engines in the 27 car. They DNF'd at the Crown Royal 300, and now Cody Goforth, he's in the top 5 at the Sundrop 500. The question that's got to be going through his head is what's going to happen now to cost him this spot, but he's up inside the top 10, showing that he has speed on these restrictor plates, trying to get himself into victory lane today for his first career National Series victory in the NSDCA. Carter Friesen has charged through the field. Look at Jacob Edson now. He has help from team boss Matthew Eves and Ryan Butcher, teammate in front of him, so they got a bit of an SBR train on that inside line. Of course, even though Matthew Eves is on CFRO. And now Butcher goes up. He's going to try to take some of the draft from Porta. We'll see if he tucks back down in front of Edson. No, he won't. He's going to try, but it's going to be too late. Edson just has a big enough run on that inside line. He's going to be able to pull alongside Eves. Or Butcher, sorry, as they come off the corner. Larry Hagan, though, in this 21, not really a restrictor plate guy, not really a big track guy. He loves the short tracks. He loves getting down and bumping people out of the way for some spots. He loves the rough racing on the short tracks. But out here at the super speedways, right now leading for TSR, just like yesterday, the 21 truck was pretty dominant in the race with Colton Yo leading a bunch of laps. He led the most laps yesterday at 13 laps. But now this 21 of Larry Hagan, he's out in front pacing the field right now. But now he has Toyotas and Matthew Eves right behind him. I don't know how long he's going to last. Yamakaze into second in that Nico Toys number 01. Edson now going to try to the outside, try to get a run on the outside there. And you saw just at the edge of the screen, Colton Yo will be coming back to this pack. Good thing about Yo and Dilks, if they do lose the draft, they shouldn't cost the pack too much like it was yesterday with Rainey. These guys lost because they just kind of fell off. They probably scraped the wall and fell off at the back. Christian Vargas into the wall further back. But Cody Goforth making a move for second. But as we said, yeah, I don't think they're going to be too much. They have the speed to stay with the pack. They're just going to have to try to not block the leaders and hope they don't cause an incident. Ryan Butcher scrapes the wall off of turn 1. We don't see that often. As this pack now, these guys are getting real close together. Eves is blocking down the track. He's not running that outside line. And Cody Goforth is going to get a run. Here comes North Border Motorsports as Cody Goforth in the 27. He wants to go lead a lap here at Daytona, get himself some points there, even though he's running part-time. These guys are still fighting for some spots back there, and this is owner's points for next season's races as well. So Cody Goforth going to get himself into the race lead, get himself a lap lead. As this front pack is kind of pulled away, I think Christian Vargas got a piece of the wall there, and that's why this pack has now split off. Colton Lane gets a piece of the wall further back, and he might lose the draft with Jacob Rose, but they might be a little bit faster than the 36 and 39, or 79. However, Anderson Reed, Joseph Strigley, Nicky Morris leading this pack. That's not too strong compared to what they could have is the Toyota, the Ford. These guys behind him are much faster, could lead this pack a little bit better, but now Yepes is going to clear Bradley. They're going to try to get single filed out, stay with the draft up here, and hope they don't lose it. Tip Foster right now, the last guy in that pack, in this front pack, as those guys are trying just to hang on. Cody Goforth in the race lead. Look at Dwayne Rockefeller in this 51, the Lionel Racing 51 Chevrolet. Great run so far for him as Carter Friesen's going to go to the inside, but great run so far for him. Great speed weeks for him in the Cup Series at least. Ended up with a good qualifying time. Ended up finishing up front in the duels. He led some laps. I think got a top 5 finish there because he started 7th in this race. And now he's right now fighting inside the top 5 here in the Sundrop 500. Can't get much better than that. Cody Smart in the 75 for Tony Zhang Motorsports. This is a brand new team to the NSDCA, and they're jumping right in the deep end into the Cup Series in that 75 car. He's trying to fight his way up towards the front, looking for his first career NSDCA victory in that 75 car. Further back now, Jose Perez making a big move on Larry Hagan. Will he have the momentum? No, he won't. Those guys were in the draft. But looking further back, DJ Curtis getting forced up wide by Casey Mears. Looking at the rest of the field here as they come down the front straightaway into the turn number 1. It looks like they have all joined back up. As you see, Strigley, Reed, and Morris have joined back up. A few guys back here trying to hang on. It looks like Colton Lane might lose the draft, and so could Gatlin Downey in that 35. That's not good for that U-Haul 35. But you see that front pack just single file in front of them. They're going to have to jump down, get back into line after a few guys hit the wall in succession. But we do have a single file guys back here. They're learning. Run single file, you run faster at Daytona. So get up there and try to hang on to this draft. Colton Yo, though, he's running about 187 across the line. Goforth 182, so that's about 3 mile/hour difference. Not too bad of a difference, so it's much better than Rainey's, I think, like 180, 170 he was running around here. So these guys shouldn't have too much worry with Colton Yo, but hopefully Yo will be able to just work his way back into the pack with no hassle. Cody Goforth continuing to lead here in that NBM 27 as we come up to the halfway point of this race. Larry Hagan in the 21 up into second. Carter Friesen third now for that Monster Motorsports team. Matty Porta running very well in that 20. Look a bit further back. Riley Spurleytube in the 28. Casey Mears in the 07. Brady Burkhart in the 99 forcing their way inside the top 10 for the first time today. This is a great run for Kamikaze Motorsports. This 07 team is basically left alive by Angiato this year. They've been getting a lot of help from Angiato, one of the best satellite teams out there in terms of getting help. Maybe not on-track performance, but they definitely do get a lot of help from Angiato, and they are up inside the top 10 of the Sundrop 500, coming over the halfway point. And Cody Goforth, let's just mention this real quick. These guys battling for second. Goforth has pulled away by a couple tenths, but this might not be as good as the trucks were, because in the trucks you could block because you had speed. In here, these guys are hitting the rev limiter pretty early on down the back straightaway, so the draft is very much key here at Daytona in the Cup cars compared to the trucks, but we'll see how that'll be when we come back here in the late summer for the night race for the first time since season 1, I believe, here at Daytona. There is Colton Yeo in the 79. He's going to work his way back into the pack, and you already see he's up to 187, 188, so Goforth will probably be checked up a little bit by him, unless he can get by him here down the front straightaway, and that he will. They'll clear him. Hagan will be held up, but this 79 should be able to just work his way into the pack nicely. Everyone's been able to hang on unless you get held up by a slower car, probably bouncing off the wall, like John Dilks, Gatlin Downey, Colton Lane there. But these guys should be able to just get Yeo back into the pack, and he will not really affect them. And you see already he's back up to speed. So Yeo is free to race. He is a lap car, but he's still free to race just in case any other lap cars come in, and he could help these guys try to get up there, pass Goforth, try to win this race. So there's no rule against that as long as he's not holding up anyone, and he isn't. He's back into race pace speed as they go down the front straightaway. First 5 cars in line are single file, except Colton Yeo is not on the lead lap. Matthew Eves into the wall again, so that's the 3rd time in Speed Weeks. Once in the duels and twice this race so far. That 47 has not been handling well through the tri-oval on that outside line. As you see Joseph Strigley on the inside now, he's finally picking up positions. But Eves, that's heartbreaking for him, into the wall again. That 47 car has taken a lot of beating to that right side as they come down the front, or come down the back straightaway. A couple guys weaving back here, including Alex Fletcher, trying to lead that inside line around with Logan Bradley. Now Cody Smart up there. One car to the inside of Cody Goforth up front. That's Carter Friesen in the 85. He wants to go up here, try to lead this race side by side for the race lead. This is Alliance partners right here. Monster Motorsports and North Border Motorsports, I believe, are satellite team, not Alliance partner. But Carter Friesen on the inside of Goforth. They are side by side for this race lead out in front. Mears and Edson trying to push. Yeo is getting pushed by Perez, but Carter Friesen's going to take the race lead for Monster Motorsports. I believe that's the 3rd Monster Motorsports driver to lead this race today. Bobo Jones is the only one in that 95 that has not led a lap, and I'm going to look for where Bobo is. There he is right there in this second pack. He's been mired back here with Joseph Strigley and a couple other guys for a while, so he might be just biding his time, waiting to get up to the front, but he is not. He is the only Monster Motorsports driver not to lead this race. And look at Stephen Wallace Jr. He's fallen back pretty far. He's now in the middle of this 3x3x3x3 field as they come through the tri-oval. Zachary DeLello is going to get a piece of the wall coming through there. Dwayne Rockefeller, I think, gets it more, and there's a spin. Jacob Edson, big crash, the big one here at Daytona as they pile in. Peter Onjak upside down, flipping again. Jay Jefferson's in it, and it is the big one here at Daytona. 2 cars trying to make their way through. Gatlin Downey, Colton Lane are getting on through, but the big one strikes here at Daytona. Multiple cars involved, and that is the whole field out of this one. Friesen, Mears, the 27 of Goforth, and the 20 of Matty Porta. That is your top 4. And these guys coming on around. Friesen's going to try to lead them back around, and he will, but that is the whole field gone here at Daytona. Down the front straightaway, Carter Friesen leads them back. Nicky Morris is in it. Alex Fletcher's car destroyed. Jay Jefferson's in it. Peter Onjak, Bobo Jones, Anderson Reed, Jacob Edson has damage. Kukulon looked like he had some damage. Morris has damage in the 55. Stephen Wallace Jr., he was dominant this race. He has damage. So does the 69 of Jose Perez. Colton Lane going onto the apron there. Looking further back, 36 of John Dilks might have made it through. Dusty Neal has damage. The 51 has damage. 57, Zachary DeLello, Diego Yepes. Butcher has it. The HBP 06, he doesn't look like he has damage, but that car is done. It's smoking. Kev Shearer, Jacob Rose, Colton Yeo, Mikey Yamakaze, Christian Vargas, Matthew Eves, and it's just the whole field here at Daytona torn up, and that is the big one. The big one strikes here at Daytona in the tri-oval. Peter Onjak took a wild ride in that 44. I hope he is okay. We'll take a look at that on this replay. But man, Carter Friesen got up to the point early. Brady Burkhart's going to come on down. He has some damage in that 99 car, and it looks like the whole back of the field is going to come on in. So that's a very small portion of drivers left in this race. But we are in, I believe, the final 20-some laps to go here at Daytona. We saw that 3x3 racing. It probably wasn't going to work, especially if someone was going to have a mechanical failure. Joseph Strigley in that 63 car is going to bring it on in. They're going to go to the attention of that crew, trying to get that car repaired up. Carson Bowers, heavy damage to that 25. Diego Yepes, heavy damage to the 77. But a couple cars did stall out. Peter Onjak in that 44. We hope he is okay. We'll get a check there as the crowd or the safety workers are going to the attention of him. Jay Jefferson as well. So a lot of cars torn up in this wreck. Here, we'll go ahead and take a quick replay here at the Sundrop 500, but we are already 37 to 60 to go, going to be under 20 laps to go, I think, or around 20 to go. When we go back racing, a wild crash here just past halfway. Let's get a replay of what happened to bring out the first caution of the day at the Sundrop 500. So it looks like coming through the trial, the 82 is going to blow out an engine, which goes into the tire, and it's just mayhem from there. The track is blocked. There's nowhere really to go. You're coming in about 160, 170 still trying to slow it down, and everyone just piles in. A big crash taking out a lot of cars here down in turn 1. Looking at Peter Onjak, though, he went for a wild ride, running in the 6th position behind Jacob Edson. Edson blows up, hits the wall, and now the 44, nowhere to go. He gets run into. Couple cars spinning behind, but Matthew Eves pops him on his side, and Christian Vargas almost hits him in the roof. I hope that he did not hit the actual roof of the car. That could be scary. Anderson Reed in the 1, he also has an incident here. He tries to save it, goes to the bottom. Him and a couple other drivers are just sliding around trying to get through this, and he comes back up carrying too much speed on the grass, hits Nicky Morris. They go spinning. Nicky's going to get hit by another car, but he gets hit by pole sitter Ryan Butcher and flips over wildly in that one. Comes to a rest on his wheels, thankfully. But here, looking at Nicky Morris, as he was just caught up in this, almost through it, and gets taken out by Anderson Reed. Gets hit in the side by Alex Fletcher, and then slides back up. Kev Shearer gives him a little pop. Flips the car upside down. He should be okay. Those were some slow speed incidents there. A lot of cars torn up. Looking out the back bumper of Matty Porta, he was right under Edson as this happens, and you see the whole field just into a shower of smoke. A car coming up, and there's Anderson Reed coming right back up the track into Nicky Morris, and just nowhere for anyone to go at that point. You're just trying your best to get through that incident. On board with Ryan Butcher back here. He was about the 8th position as they were running, and the 82, his teammate goes into the wall. He's actually going to make it through it. Look at him make it through that nice and cleanly. But up front, you see Reed hit the grass. A lot of guys hit the grass, and they go sliding on up. Just too much speed there, and he tries to get through it, and nowhere to go. Anderson Reed spinning back down the track in front of him through the smoke. That's going to damage that 82 car. On board with, I believe, Jay Jefferson in this 48 truck. 48 car as he's going through the tri-oval near the back of the field. You see the field, the smoke pouring up. He's going to actually get hit pretty hard too. Bowers there, and then he gets flipped upside down as well. So both Jefferson and Onjak go for a wild ride here, and he's going to end on his wheels, thankfully. Looking at Bobo Jones and Peter Onjak both stalled out as well. On board with Peter Onjak now, as we have word that he is okay in that 44 car. The 82 of Edson, nowhere to go for Onjak. He goes spinning through the field, popped in the side, and then hit in the roof, in the rear roof, thankfully. And we'll get an on board with Vargas here shortly. As we see this incident, you see the guys trying to get around him. Here's on board with Christian Vargas. He was right behind Jay Jefferson there in that 48 truck, 48 car, and they go on different rides. Jefferson went to the outside, Vargas went to the inside, and you see the smoke, and it's just going to be mayhem. You're trying to get through. Vargas tries to get to the inside and into the back window of the 44. Dangerous hit there, and thankfully Onjak will most likely be okay from that. You see SWJ Morris there. Dusty Neal also had an issue. I think he might have got a piece of the oil because he goes up into the outside wall, spins across, hooked by Jacob Rose, spins through the field. Nathan Stapleton trying to get through it. Neal tries to gather it up, hits the inside wall, spins back up onto the track for the 94. Thankfully, he does not get hit by anyone else as he comes back up onto the track. But this was a crazy incident. Look at it, Colton Lane at the very back, and you just see on the left side, look at the smoke and the field there, just smoke all over the place in front of him. He can't really get through it, and he's trying to get through it, but he will be able to get through it as everyone's down on the inside. So far back, good for them being so far back. They were able to pick up some spots, and now they are inside the top 10 as they go around here at Daytona. But we are under caution for the first time today. The big one strikes for the first time in 2 years at the Daytona International Speedway in the Top Series races. We will go ahead, take you guys to a quick commercial break, bring you guys back to the action for the restart here with just about 20 laps to go in the Sundrop 500.
The way I see it, all synthetic oils are the same.
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Aren't all synthetic oils the same?
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Synthetics or synthetics?
Castrol Edge. I'm gonna try this.
Oh, no, that's thinking with your dipstick!
So why did you hit me?
Because you were thinking with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Think with your dipstick. Upgrade to new Castrol Edge with 8 times better wear protection than Mobil 1 5W30. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
Many people ask me, Snoop Dogg, how come you always so happy? It's fairly simple. I believe the small things are the most meaningful. The small thing. So this holiday season, I simply enjoy fresh sparkling water with a nearly extinct friend. Think small, baby.
Love you, brother.
By the way, one SodaStream bottle can save...
I don't know, thousands?
Yeah, thousands of single-use plastic bottles. So who's thinking small now? Gotcha. I just saved the planet.
Back live here at Daytona for the final pace laps. Nathan Stapleton coming down off of the apron, blowing up. It looks like an engine problem for the 04 team. Heartbreak for that Orange Auto team. I think most of their cars are out. Tip Foster, though, still in this one. We will go through the field real quick, but we do want to say Peter Onjak has been taken to the Halifax Medical Center and is being checked for any further injuries. But the 44 team, they do want to say that Peter is okay. He was awake, alert, able to communicate with doctors. Last season, after the Talladega incident, the NSDCA wanted to make sure that the roofs now were a bit more reinforced just to hopefully prevent any incident like that. And with Christian Vargas going into the back window of the 08, or of the 44 car, it just missed the driver cockpit by a few inches. Thankfully, we will be able to avoid a catastrophe here at Daytona today. But out in front, Carter Friesen, Casey Mears, Cody Goforth, Matty Porta, Larry Hagan, Logan Bradley, Tib Foster, Sebastian Kukulon, Austin Murray, Cody Smart, DJ Curtis, Colton Lane, the 35 of Gatlin Downey, John Dilk, Zachary DeLello, Brady Burkhart, Patrick Smith, Riley Spurley, Tube, Dwayne Rockefeller, Joseph Strigley, Jose Perez, Dusty Neal are still in this one. We missed the green flag, but we are green now. And those are the drivers left. A few of those guys were involved in the crash, but a good majority of the front runners were not, or had little damage to their cars. Larry Hagan holding a few guys up there, but the top 4 are going to try to break away with Casey Mears, Cody Goforth, Matty Porta, and Carter Friesen. But now a lot of drivers are out. Nathan Stapleton bringing the 04 down pit road. Perez slow. You see that 51. They tore the back off of that Dwayne Rockefeller ride. But I don't think there's going to be much pack racing left. There's not much of a pack to form up. But we could have some first-time winners this season right off the bat here in the Sundrop 500. Cody Goforth looking to the inside of Casey Mears. We have 20 laps to go this time by. Who will be able to win? Matty Porter looking for his first oval victory in 3 years. Carter Friesen won last year but broke a very long winless drought. Cody Goforth, Casey Mears have never won. Sebastian Kukulon never won in the NSDCA. Neither has Cody Smart. Even Gatlin Downey, John Dilks haven't either, but a lot of these guys are falling back as Cody Goforth makes a move for the race lead. DeLello has some front-end damage. That might cost him. Spurley trying to hang on. Strigley has damage. Smith, Neal, Rockefeller, Perez have damage. Those are the guys with damage, so it looks like John Dilks and Brady Burkhart are the last drivers in this pack that could fight for the win. Now, Porta on the inside. Tib Foster wants to win the biggest race of the year, and he's now diving to the inside in that 40 car. Side by side, making a move with Matty Porta. That is for that second position as they come through 3 and 4. Casey Mears on the outside line, trying his best to hang on. Kukulon has damage, but it's to the side of the car, not to the front. That might not mess with aerodynamics as much. Foster now tries to push Tib Foster up, or Matty Porta up there, as Cody Goforth is trying for all his life to win this race. Hold on, another 18 laps left this time by here at Daytona. Kukulon's going to make a move to the inside of Foster. Cody Smart for Tony Zhang Motorsports is getting that 75 up here. DJ Curtis, Colton Lane are trying to work their way up and get up into this pack. Austin Murray, John Dilks, Gatlin Downey, Larry Hagan, Brady Burkhart there as well. DeLello and Spurleytube trying to hang on. The rest of the pack further back there, not able to run up front. Cody Smart, no one on the inside. Bradley's going to clear him, but Cody Goforth in the race lead over Matty Porta, Sebastian Kukulon, and now Logan Bradley trying again. He could still be the first driver to go to win 2 Daytona races. The Sundrop 500 is his if he can win this race. He's up inside the top 5. And now Cody Goforth out in front trying to hang on over Matty Porta, but the Italian Stallion in that Castrol number 20 for Sauber Racing Team is all over the back of him. Porta wants this. He has not won since the Chase era began in the Crown Royal Truck Series back 4 years ago. His last win comes at Dover back in Season 2 of the Mountain Dew Custom Series. He wants to win, and he wants to win on an oval again. Try to get himself into victory lane and early on into that chase hunt. Tib Foster in the 40, though, is now into third. Will the Dodges work together to try to get around Cody Goforth? Carter Friesen in the 85 has Logan Bradley pushing him. Cody Smart is holding up some of the bottom line, but there's Colton Lane, Austin Murray, John Dilks for Robert Gearhart Racing could still win this race. Gatlin Downey, Brady Burkhart are in here. We got a lot of drivers fighting, and now the Dodgers are trying to work together. Porta's slowing up Foster, trying to get them to mount the charge on Goforth. Kukulon to the inside of Foster. That might cost Foster that third position. He tried to block Kukulon. Kukulon, I think, hit the apron, but now Sebastian Kukulon's in here. Kukulon has never won a race. Rockstar Energy Racing has not won a race outside of the Dr. Pepper Dash Series. They are chasing down that North Border Motorsports number 27. Friesen on the inside, getting a big push from Logan Bradley and DJ Curtis. Bradley's going to leave him. Curtis probably didn't want that, but Bradley's going to leave him. There's no partnership there. Cody Goforth in that 27 trying to hang on over Matty Porta in the 20, Kukulon in the 12, Logan Bradley in the 53. He showed he had speed and had potential yesterday in the Crown Royal 300 to win that race, and he dominated. Now he's in the top 5, trying to win this race for DJ Gibson in that number 53. Friesen with a run, trying to get back towards the front. Top 5 are going to get single-filed out as Cody Goforth continues to maintain a bit of a pace over Porta. Porta might be slower. He's just lagging back. We got 15 to go this time by. The front pack has now broken apart. Or broken away, I should say, as John Dilks sits as the last driver in the pack. That's a 14-car battle. 14 cars to decide the race victory of the Sundrop 500. DeLello back there. Hagan, I believe he might have got a piece of the wall. He's dropped now off of the pack. Strigley, Neal, Rockefeller, Perez, and Smith fight amongst themselves. Porta trying to get up there. Now Monster Motorsports. I think they're the only team with multiple cars left in this event. They have 3 of them inside this top 14 group. You see Colton Lane a bit further back, but Curtis is pushing Friesen down this front straightaway trying to make a move. But Cody Goforth is for North Border Motorsports. That is the satellite team to Monster Motorsports. Can Goforth win the 500? Getting Porta out of the way, that might be big enough for these guys to mount the charge, but going 2x2 does not help, trying to catch a single car up there. Now Friesen, he's going to have some draft from Goforth since he's up top, so that's going to possibly bring him back into the mix. DJ Curtis now, unlike the Zachary Racing and TSR dominance, it's now the Chevy dominance here with the top 3. Friesen, Curtis, and Goforth leading them all, but Curtis might be making a move to the inside of Friesen. What will they do? Will Monster Motorsports go for the win themselves, or will they help push Cody Goforth to victory? Here comes Carter Friesen with a run down the front straightaway. Will he look to the inside in that 85 car? He's going to stay right there. No, he's going to leave him. He dives to the inside of Goforth. That might be Goforth's 500 chances over, but there are only 14 cars in this pack. You work together, you can get to the front and have a chance at this thing. All 14 of them can possibly win the Sundrop 500. To the bottom goes Porta. He's going to look for 3-wide move, but that outside line is just formed up. No one's pushing Curtis and no one's pushing Porta. Foster doesn't know where to go. He tried to get down behind Porta. Not going to happen. Now Cody Smart in the 75 is up here inside the battle. Tony Zhang Motorsports in their debut race. Can they win the race, the Sundrop 500, in their first ever start in the NSDCA? But it's Monster Motorsports' Carter Friesen, DJ Curtis out in front. Side by side for third is Porta and Goforth. Tib Foster trying to clear into 5th. Cody Smart trying to hang on. Look at Austin Murray, Brady Burkhart. They've been at the back this race. John Dilks, Gatlin Downey, Casey Mears were all at the back of this race. And Cody Smart. Now they are here. It is crunch time to try to win this race. The 36 team, Robert Gearhart Racing said they would only enter Daytona this year. Maybe Talladega. Cody Goforth making a move. But what's the point? Crash the car at this point if you're going to fight it, but you are going going to try to win this 500, and I think that's what Dilks wants to do in that 36 car. Up front, though, Curtis gets a run with Goforth. Now they go to the race lead. DJ Curtis put him to the top of the charts. Goforth trying to hang on. Inside line's going to falter away. Now Curtis has to try to hang on and pull away from Carter Friesen and Porta on that outside line. Porta's going to leave him. 12 laps to go at the Sun Drop 500. Porta looking for a move. 3 wide further back is John Dilks. I don't know if he got a piece of the wall, but he's going to be shoved out wide back to last of this front group. Porta now pushing DJ Curtis. Where's this second pack? They are about halfway behind. There's 3 of them running about 185, so that's almost 8 or 9 miles per hour slower. They might be caught before this race is over. But up in front, DJ Curtis trying to hang on. Porta getting the push of his life from Cody Goforth on the inside, trying to pull into that race lead. He got a nose. Curtis through the block, but Porta might have gave him a little nudge there up the track. Now Matty Porta looking for the race lead against DJ Curtis. Colton Lane in the 05 back there in the middle. He has no help. John Dilks trying to hang on with the pack. Porta, I don't think has a car to get up there and pass these guys. He's been really slow leading lines. He might have some front-end damage to that 20 car, and Cody Goforth recognizes this. He's going to dump him to the outside. Friesen and Bradley now to the outside. Here comes Foster, Sebastian Kukulon, Cody Smart's in the mix. Austin Murray is up here for the end of this race. But DJ Curtis, he almost won the duels. He crashed out his primary car in qualifying. This is a backup car for Monster Motorsports. He's up here, but Cody Goforth with the run in the 27. 10 laps to go this time by Goforth to the inside. And that's going to be the race lead to Cody Goforth. Back in the battle for third, Cody Smart on the inside, Murray pushing him, Porta on the outside with Foster pushing him. Now he goes to the very outside to pick up Friesen's draft. Drag race to the line. Curtis is going to lead that lap. Goforth has no help on the inside line, with Porta giving a big push to DJ Curtis up top. Cody Smart in the 75 is trying to make some moves happen, but I don't think he has the car underneath him. He just cannot get around these guys on the inside line. Burkhart and Kukulon do have side damage. Will that cost them if they can fight their way up front? But here we are, 10 laps to go in the Sundrop 500. Now, one car blowing up. It's Carter Friesen in the 85. He is blowing up. The engine has quit on him. That's going to split the pack in 2. Carter Friesen's day is done in the 85 car. He's into the outside wall. Engine problems for the 85. He's going to have to try to get down pit road before the second pack catches him, but I don't think they're going to while he's out there. Up front, it's all Curtis versus Goforth. Now, Burkhart, Bradley, Mears, Downey, Kukulon, Dilks, and the 05 Elaine have to work together to try to get back up to this front pack before the race is over. Cody Goforth to the lead. Tib Foster in the 40. He wants to win this race for Anjato. He wants to start off this season strong by winning the biggest race of them all. Curtis side by side for second. Porta's back there. Murray, Smart, and Burkhart might be able to catch back up to this front pack. I don't know if those guys further back will. Downey trying to hang on over Kukulon, but these guys going single file is what's going to help them catch up in the draft. Single file racing is very strong in the draft. You're not battling. You're not slowing each other down. So we'll see if they can catch up to these top 4 right now. Murray, Smart, and Burkhart have the draft. They're going to try to catch up. Bradley is trying his best, but he's all alone. 7 cars in this front pack now as Carter Friesen has left this top group with an engine failure. Cody Goforth in the race lead, trying to hang on in that 27 car. Can he do it? Dodges a Tib Foster and Matty Porta up there. They lost one of the Monster Motorsports guys, so now the 05 of Colton Lane's a bit further back. He's in that second group, and DJ Curtis is no longer near Cody Goforth. He can't help him out. Austin Murray's going to clear Curtis. Top 5 single file. Burkhart and Smart battle for that 6th position. Curtis is going to chop back to the inside on that number 91 truck car. Bradley there. Now they're fighting. Kukulon wants to get by Perez. That's not going to help them catch back up, and that might be the nail in the coffin for these guys' Sundrop 500 hopes here at Daytona. Now, Foster and Porta, do they have the momentum to get around Goforth? You need a couple guys to get you a run to pass this 27, but can they is the question. The 40 and 20, second and third, nose to tail as they head into turn 1. Curtis and Murray starting to drop back. They're just not able to pass each other. Staying side by side while the top 3 are single file. That could pull them away here at the Sundrop 500. Smart trying any line he can. He comes off the corner looking top to bottom. Now Foster has some help from this 20, but he does have the draft from the 27 as well. Logan Bradley might have gotten a piece of the draft, but these guys are not giving up. They are just about 2.5 seconds behind the race leader. Only about a second and a half behind the lead pack. Dilk's a bit slow. He might break those those guys up back there, and that's going to cost him a lot as Downey and Lane now stuck behind him. Bradley trying to hang on, but up front now the top 7 running single file to end this Sun Drop 500. Porta now going to look for second. He has not been strong leading laps, or leading the pack, leading a line. Will he be able to catch and pass this 27? Here comes Curtis back. Burkhart's going to get some momentum. Smart and Murray trying to hang on. Bradley and the 07 and 12 trying to get up there as Dilks is really holding up that pack with this underfunded equipment. And Downey and Lane, I think, are going to try to make a move on him there. Bradley has the draft from Murray. Mears might have the draft from Bradley, so we'll see what'll happen. Foster has been shoved out of this front group. Burkhart in the 99 is there as well. Here comes Cody Smart with a big run coming off of the corner. Burkhart's going to tuck back into line in 5th. Cody Goforth, will these guys line up and try to pass him, or does he have this race in the bag? They need momentum. Porta has no momentum. Here comes Curtis to the inside. He wants to get up there and try to win the 500. Don't count out the 3 lap cars. Dwayne Rockefeller, Jose Perez, and Patrick Smith are slow up here. They're just trying to finish the race off. They're not off the pace by much, only about 10 miles an hour. Will they be caught in these final 5 laps? Now Curtis up to 2nd. Foster fighting Porta for 3rd. Will DJ Curtis push Cody Goforth to the victory, or will he try to win it himself? Foster 3rd. Cody Smart back there is cleared into 5th. He's trying to bring this pack back up. Bradley, Mears are catching up. Kukulon might be dropping away, but Bradley is going to be in this fight. Casey Mears might be back in this fight for the 07 team. Curtis to the inside to Goforth. Does he have enough momentum? To the bottom. Goforth throws the block on the 5 car. That's going to check Curtis up. He had to let go so he wouldn't run over that 27 of Cody Goforth. Down the front straightaway, though, they head through the corner. Tib Foster on the inside in 3rd with Porta. They have to line up and work together if they want to pass Cody Goforth here in that 27 in the closing laps. Goforth trying to win his first career NSDCA race. Logan Bradley in the 53. He's going to do what he tried to do yesterday and win this race. He has the car underneath him. Does he have the help from back here in 6th? This is much different. There is no pack to help you push along. There is no regular move of the pack to push you along. It's just 9 cars lined up. Kukulon trying to join as the 10th car. These are all the drivers that can line up together. That's it, as DJ Curtis is up here in 2nd, chasing down Cody Goforth. You need any help you can. Porta is really slowing people up. He does not have a good car in that 20 to go win this race. Curtis now on the back of Goforth. Tib Foster trying to catch up with them. 3 to go as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Curtis, can he mount a charge? Does he have the time to mount a charge and pass this number 27 to Goforth? Foster is back there in 3rd. Will he help him? Will he try to win it himself? Porta back in 4th. Battle for 5th as Logan Bradley's going to clear Brady Burkhart. The lappers are going to be a factor, it looks like. With just 2 laps to go, these guys are catching them quickly. Mears is up into 6th. Murray and Smart have dropped back. Burkhart's dropped back. Kukulon's out of this one. Up in front, it is all Cody Goforth in the race lead with DJ Curtis, Tib Foster, and Matty Porta 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Into turn number 1 and 2 once again. 2 laps to go. Can Curtis catch this 27 car? It might come down to these lappers. They are slow. 183, and there they are. There's the difference. And this time it's not just 1. It's not 1 that is on the pace. It is 3 that are off the pace. What will happen in the closing laps of the 500? Will the lappers play a factor here at Daytona? Curtis is trying. He just does not have the momentum. That 27 is set up greatly. The aero package is great. Now Goforth. He's looking to the outside. Where's he going to go? He needs to try to get around these guys. Perez in the 69 is going to block him. They almost run him over. That's going to allow Curtis to jump to the inside. Here comes Curtis now. Goforth on the outside. He gets held up by the lap cars, and that's going to be all they wrote for Goforth. Heartbreak for him. Perez now. Patrick Smith is going to block him, but Perez and Rockefeller have taken Goforth out of this race win. White flag is here, and it's the lappers, the controversy. Now Foster's going to look to the inside. Curtis throws the block. Contact almost between the 2 of them. Goforth is out of this one. Here comes Foster and Porta on the inside. Will they be able to clear Curtis into the final corner? Curtis on the outside has no help. Tib Foster pushed to the race lead in the 40 car. The lappers play the factor coming off of the corner. Cody Goforth loses it on the last lap, and it will be Tib Foster in the 40. Winning the Sun Drop 500, Foster wins at Daytona. And that is going to be a controversial finish there. Where could the lappers go? Goforth, though, you can't say that Goforth didn't try. He went to the outside when he could have just jumped to the inside on him. They went to the inside. Rockefeller dove low and Perez dove low, and Goforth just couldn't get past him, dove back behind him, and it cost him the race. The 5 of Curtis drops back as well. He got held up, but Foster snuck to the inside, and he will be your Sun Drop 500 inaugural winner here at Daytona. That is a controversial finish. I'm sure Goforth and Curtis will have something to say to Smith, Rockefeller, and Perez, but really, where could they go? It's not like the NSDCA could park them either. They were still running up to pace. I mean, they caught them in only, 20 laps, not in 5. But Tib Foster will sneak by at the end to take home the victory for Anj Auto. What a performance at the end. No one could get by Cody Goforth until the lappers were what undone his race victory. Goforth comes up just short of the Sun Drop 500. Curtis just misses it coming down the back straightaway, but Tib Foster gets the push from Batty Porta around and into the race victory. We thank you guys so much for tuning in all speed weeks to the Valvoline 200, Crown Royal 300, and Sun Drop 500, including the Clash, the duels, and the qualifying that we had these past 2 weeks here at Daytona. We're happy to get the NSDCA back into the swing of things, but Tib Foster gets to start it out as the points leader with the win that could qualify him for the inaugural Sun Drop Cup Series chase. A big crash here at the end costs a lot of drivers their shot at the 500. Carter Friesen blowing up, Jacob Edson blowing up in front of the field, causing an almost 25-car pileup here in the Tri-Oval, and Peter Onjak sent to the hospital after that, but hopefully he will be all right to race at Atlanta next week. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Sun Drop 500. These 60 laps were action-packed, and the ending, though crazy, it was Tib Foster coming out on top. We'll see you guys next week at Atlanta and the Las Vegas race for the Mountain Dew Custom Series Atlanta for the Sun Drop Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.